Good morning, students. How are you? This is Wally from the English Corner in Baghdad University. Today, I will be talking again about the essay writing. As you know, a lot of Iraqis have encountered a lot of challenges when they're writing essays, and especially essays outline, because of the way the educational framework in Iraq doesn't give that much of a spectrum of writing practices to students. That resulted in students' weakness in when it comes to writing. So when it comes to standardized tests, they have encountered so many challenges that have to do with the writing of thesis statement, the body and the support of the essay, and also the conclusion. So briefly today, without further ado, I will introduce this simple lesson, hoping that it's going to help you re-engineer your way of writing for standardized tests such as TOEFL, IELTS, GRE. The essay, as you can see here, has an outline. This is very simple outline of 3 paragraphs, or let's say 4. It depends on the longevity of the article that you're writing or the essay. So in introduction, what we are going to do is to give general information about the topic, the reasons why the reader should be hooked up like a hook to the context of interest of the reader. Also, bear in mind that you're writing an essay for everyone to read, not for particularly professor or inherently any person who's got interest in this topic. So you need to make sure that your writing is targeting everyone. In other sense, it should be very carefully written in terms of the word selection, so do not choose very technical words that might not be familiar to some people, and do not make it so informal that people might feel offended when they're reading, because it should reflect your academic background. Another comment or another piece of advice that I should give to you is that make sure when you're writing you are not biased. So you present 2 diverse opinions, you bring them together, you put them in a very neat order, and also in the conclusion you sum up what you just said, but with a little bit of rephrasing hint. So the thesis statement here, as you can see, is your point, your standpoint. It's what you say in order to make a statement. So for example, education in Iraq is suffering from so many sides. Now, in the topic sentence number 1, you are going to talk about the education in Iraq, and that is an example here. Now, when you talk about the education system in Iraq, you are supposed to support it with details, examples. If you have data or you can retrieve or remember data, that would be so useful for you. It's going to be on your advantage. Also, when you move on to the second part, which is the support here, the support here is also another piece of evidence that you present in order to make sure your statement, your thesis statement, is solid and it's backed up with data. These are standards. So details in example number 1, details in example number 2, details in example number 3, but you make sure that this is an outline. So you need to practice it multiple times to get the final draft. And there is no final draft, by the way. There's always a process of editing, reviewing, writing, and then editing and reviewing and writing. Now make sure that you transition carefully using transition tools like moreover, furthermore, in addition to this, additionally, next. These transition tools are also available online. You can get it access to. Now when it comes to topic number 2. And topic number 2, you should make sure it's linked to topic number 1 and it transitions smoothly to it. Also, my standpoint here is that you need to make sure you provide enough details and examples and data and explanation of the data should that be necessary for the reader to understand why you are supporting it. Here, again, as you can see, support number 1 and support number 2 is useful for you. This outline is very simplistic, so you need to make sure that when you're writing, you bear that in mind. We made them 3 so you can remember them. So topic number 1, 3 examples. Topic number 2, support and 3 examples. And then topic number 3, sentence number 3 is the last part before the conclusion, and which should also follow the lead of the other 2 topic sentences with the exact details and examples. But as I said, make sure that when you're writing them, you need to be very careful linking the topic sentence 3 with the topic sentence 2 with a transition, logical transition. So I need to be very excited to move on to topic number 3 and read about it, because it's very essential for my comprehension and my point to be made. In the concluding paragraph, you just restate this thesis statement that you just said in the beginning, like educational system lacks a lot of main infrastructure items that make it developing in the right direction. So for example, you just rephrase it, but you make it simple and you return to the main context that you talked about. You briefly refer back to topic number 1 and 2 and 3 and say what they were about, and then you wrap up the essay. That's pretty much for the outline of a simplistic 3 to 4 paragraphs in an essay, or let's say 1 page. If you have any questions, please send me a text message or contact me on the Global Language Center أو بالعربي المركز العالمي للغات على الفيس. عندنا هواية فيديوهات تقدر تتابعوها، وإذا عندكم أي استفسارات فأني موجود. شكرا جزيلا. وليد خالد، المركز العالمي للغات ومحاضر في جامعة بغداد في الركن الأمريكي. وإن شاء الله نشوفكم فيديوهات أخرى.